Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Keith Campbell, the chairman of Mannington Mills. Keith, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Kemp. How are you this morning?
I'm good. It's good to catch you. The topic we're going to discuss is a little bittersweet, though. We're going to talk about the fact that you've announced your retirement at the end of the year. You've been a friend of mine for a long time. I want to run through a couple of things real quick. You finished school and immediately came to work for Mannington. You finished in 77. You worked in many different places at Mannington. And then in 1995, I think you were about 40 years old, you became the chairman, and you've been doing that for 28 years. If you add that all together, that's 46 years at Mannington. Did I get that right?
You got it right, yeah. It seems like it was yesterday when I started, but 46 years have gone by, and it's been fun.
Before we get into more detail on this, let me just ask you, how's business with Mannington right now?
Overall business conditions are tough, Kemp. The residential side, we're like everyone else. I see reporting their numbers. It's a very tough market with these elevated mortgage rates, and it's affecting existing home sales, which affect the remodel market, and new home sales are still there, but it's not what it was by any stretch. The commercial market for us remains good, but you know that there's going to be some rough sledding because the commercial market generally trails whatever happens on the residential side. That's what I've learned through the years. I think our overall business conditions, and this is for everybody, is going to be some tough sledding for the next year or two.
Well, it's one good thing about Mannington, family-run company, and you've been around for well over 100 years, and you've made it through 16 recessions and 3 fires and 5 generations. So I think you'll be okay. I mean, I know it may be tough for short term, but I think you'll be all right, right?
We're going to be fine. Even when you have a recession, there are things that you're always working on, and you're improving your balance sheet, and we're doing all of that. And, the company's in great shape. And yes, we've been through any one of a number of recessions, and you're always preparing for the upturn.
All right, well, let's get back to this topic of the day, your retirement. Why are you doing it now, 2023?
Well, the time is right. I turned 70 here next year, and while I still can do my job as chairman, but the time is right. We have a new CEO in Tom Penley, who's come on board after Russell Grizzle retired last year, and Tom's doing a great job. Zach Zahner is ready, willing, and able to step into my shoes as the 5th generation, and the time is right. It's best always to have a chairman, at least this is at Mannington, a chairman who is active in the business, understands what is going on, looks at things maybe in a different viewpoint than maybe I do, but nonetheless, I mean, you take a look at it, succession planning is one of the most important things that family businesses must face, and we've gone about this very meticulously, and the time is right now. Perfect time.
One of the secrets of Mannington's success is the fact that you have, the family in the chairman role, and then you bring in, some of the best talent to serve in the president role, and you have a mandatory retirement age for those people who are non-family members who are helping to run the company, right?
Yes, we do. That is age 65. There have been a couple exceptions for maybe a year or two. I mean, Russell stayed on for an extra year. We had COVID, which really disrupted things, supply chains, and also we had a acquisition of Phoenix. And so, I felt it was important that he stay an extra year in order to make sure all those things were buttoned up. But, from a family standpoint, there really is nothing in place that says you have to retire. However, I think age 65 is right. I stayed on a few extra years to make sure that we went through this management transition. It went through seamlessly. I'm good. I'm ready to retire.
Let's talk as you look at 46 years and you look back on it. Why don't you tell me your biggest challenge in all that time?
The challenges are always numerous, and I think that the challenges come up because they tend to be something that is totally unpredictable and also something that you've never experienced before. But the biggest challenge that I had during my years at Mannington was what we faced with the Mannington Gold situation, where we had a major product failure. There were a couple other factors that were happening during that period of time. And we were so fortunate to have a gentleman by the name of Tony Kelly come on board as our CEO. He had spent many years at Bigelow, and he came to work for us, and Tony orchestrated the turnaround for Mannington Gold. And there was a lot of work that went into that. I worked with Tony and the team, and it was really a miraculous turnaround. And so as far as a major event, that was truly the major event. But in the meantime, there were acquisitions that we had done. We went through cyber attacks, went through 9/11 and the recessions and all types of things that you just can't predict. And so you turn around and you say, well, how can we as a leadership team react to these situations? And I've been so fortunate because we have had such excellent talent, both in the side of the CEO working at Mannington, whether it be Tony, Tom Davis, Russell Grizzle, now Tom Penley, but also all of our leadership team, and the tremendous support and loyalty of all of our associates. So I can't think of one thing I've done particularly by myself other than the fact that we've attracted really superb talent at Mannington.
One of the things about Mannington Gold is the family owned up to it. I mean, you made some major investments to make it right to the customer. So I think that speaks highly of who Mannington is. And let's move to the fondest moments. What's your fondest memories looking back?
One of them was when I became chairman and my dad was there, and that was a tremendous moment of personal accomplishment and personal affirmation from your father. And for those of us that are in family-owned businesses, that's a tremendous thing. And also when we had our 100th anniversary, the centennial celebration, and we had a big celebration in Philadelphia and other celebrations, one at Surfaces and another at Neocon, but we also had a lot of plant celebrations throughout the entire company. So it was a tremendous accomplishment for a family-owned business to make it to 100 years. And now I'm passing it on to Gen 5, and they're going to take it for another generation, I'm sure.
So what do you think the secrets of your success are? Because, when people think about Keith Campbell, they always have a smile on their face as a guy that's confident and pensive. What would you say your secret of success is?
That's a hard question, Kemp. You always turn around and you want to be true to yourself and true to your faith and true to your family in the case of having a family business. So those are things that I've always looked inwardly toward. Also, as a leader at Mannington, it was focusing on our values. And those values are the compass by which we run the company. And very simply, it's doing the right thing, caring for our associates, customers, and communities and environment, controlling our own destiny. And in our case, we're a family-owned company competing against very large competitors. And the last one is work hard, play hard. But yeah, we work hard, but we want to have a smile on our face and enjoy what we are doing and enjoy the time that we have with our family. So staying true to those values has been extremely important to me and extremely important to the success of Mannington.
I know you live this because I've been to many of these retirement events that you have, and you don't have any notes with you. It just comes right out because you live it and you know it. So living those values. So tell us real quick before we run out of time, what's next for you and Shirley?
Well, Shirley and I, we currently live in Sarasota, Florida, so we've done the downsizing thing. So we are well set for our retirement years, and I'm going to remain on the board at Mannington. So I will be whispering in Zach's ear, trying not to be a pain in the neck, but to give him some unclely advice. We're definitely very interested and active in the company, but we're going to enjoy life together and travel a bit and enjoy our grandchildren a bit. That's the simple plans.
Yeah, last time I checked in with you, I think you had 7 grandchildren. What's the count now?
It is 7. I think everyone's retired from that. And actually, we're going up to New Jersey this week, and we're going to celebrate our 8-year-old granddaughter. She's turning 9. So we're going to go to the birthday party. It's going to be fun.
Okay. I appreciate you spending time with us. As I said, it's going to be bittersweet to see you step back, but I'm glad to hear you're going to be actively whispering into Zach's ear. You've been talking to Keith Campbell, who's retiring at the end of the year, and you've been listening to Kemp, Harr, and FloorDaily.net.